Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke, also known as the Yorkshireman Reacts, and it's time for a new reaction, and this video is going to be a bit different to the usual stuff. It's not going to be a TV episode or a movie or a song. It's going to be something a bit more factual. It's 11 common things that don't exist outside the USA, and one of the main things about this video that interests me is the fact that it's 5 years old, because in the last 5 years a lot has changed in the UK in terms of things that have ended up becoming available in the UK from America that weren't previously. So there's been a huge explosion of American candy stores opening up all over the place. And they sell, well, American candy, does what it says on the tin. And over the years, I've tried all sorts. I've had a Butterfinger, which is absolutely delicious. A Baby Ruth bar, which I loved. Laffy Taffy, banana's my favourite flavour. Mike and Ike's, or whatever it's called. Tropical flavour is my favourite. Also these little chewy things. There's different flavors like pineapple, all sorts. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing if there's going to be anything on this video that now does exist in the UK. That's going to interest me to see if there's anything that I have at least seen here in the UK. So before we get into it, just to remind everybody that this kind of content is not too much of a rarity on my channel. I've got the How America Makes Britain Look Like a Tiny Village. I've reacted to that. 10 American words that completely confuse Brits. 25 myths about America that people believe are true. 5 ways British and American bedrooms are very different. 10 funniest American TV commercials. I did that just a few days ago, actually. And also, big news. Family Guy is now available in the cheapest tier on Patreon, the $1 a month tier. It's available in all tiers. I've added it to that tier as part of the special deal that I've got with MJB Reactions, Mikey from MJB Reactions, where if you join his Patreon, you get my Patreon for free, because he's only got a $1 tier and a $4 tier. So you join his $1 tier, and you get mine for free, you'll get Family Guy. Try to make it more attractive to join his Patreon. So Family Guy is now available in all tiers, and I've added it to the cheap Super 6, which is 6 currently ongoing shows that I'm reacting to that you will get guaranteed early access, unedited access to when you join the $1 a month tier. The other 5 shows, the Catherine Tate Show, On the Buses, Blackadder, Friday Night Dinner, My Family. Yep, so these are some of the most popular shows on the channel at the moment. On the Buses, very popular. Friday Night Dinner, very popular. My Family, popular. Family Guy, so far, quite popular. Yeah, but anyway, let's get into this. I just jumped ahead on the intro a little bit to do a little sound test. Let's check the volume. It was quite loud, actually, the video over me, so I'll have it 80. Right, so here we go. And of course, if this brings new viewers to my channel, then welcome. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more. Check out the Patreon, check out my Twitch channel, where I will be doing gaming streams in the future. And yeah, let's go.
Chocolate chip cookies, dental floss, traffic lights, all great American inventions. These things originated in America but are now all over the world. But if you think that everything American is in every other country, then you'd be wrong. There are some things that you just don't see outside of the USA. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at 11 common things that don't exist outside the USA. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming up first, we have medical and lawyer ads. If you're not from the USA but have gone to visit, I'm sure you switched on the TV and heard this phrase. Ask your doctor if this product is right for you. And then, most likely, a big list of scary warnings and side effects. This is something that only happens in America, and it's advertising for medical products. Outside the USA, it's weird to see commercials for medical-related things. Most people would just go to their doctor and get what their doctor...
Okay, not true. There's plenty of commercials, or what we call adverts here in the UK, for medical products. Panadol is first one I think of. There's a Panadol advert that was doing the rounds on telly not so long ago. Nurofen, they have adverts all over the place, commercials. Other products as well, like women's products, like female personal hygiene products. Even Durex have an advert on on British telly sometimes now for their products. So no, not exactly rare here.
Doctor suggests. But in the USA, it's common to see medical things advertised as if they were any other product. But medical ads aren't the only odd advertising you'll see in the USA. Another thing you'll often see is adverts for lawyers. I'm not talking about Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad. Believe it or not, that's not just in TV shows. In the USA, lawyers really do advertise on TV. Did you know that 60% of the world's lawyers reside in the USA? And the USA is said to be the most litigious country in the world. This means the most lawsuits come from inside the USA.
Yeah.
Next up is spray cheese. When you think of cheese, you probably think France. Luxurious French cheese is a staple of fine dining around the world. But the USA has a different kind of dairy-based delicacy. That is spray cheese. Cheese is eaten a lot in the USA. In fact, the USA is the world's largest consumer of cheese. But America also loves convenience.
Yeah, I've seen this stuff in TV shows and video. Yeah, spray cheese in a can. I mean, yeah, as an Englishman, as someone who, when it comes to cheese, proper, fresh, mature cheddar is 10 a penny here. It's so easy to find, so easy to buy. It's not exactly cheap, but it's not expensive either. It's kind of like in the middle. It depends on which one you buy. But you can get yourself a nice block of cheese for about £2-3 that's going to last you a week or so, depending how fast you eat it. But yeah, as I'm saying, me, the kind of cheese that I have access to and so, that immediately makes me go, I don't think, no thank you. But the American diet isn't incredibly different to the British diet in terms of what we eat. I mean, Americans don't exactly have Sunday roasts, but they have something similar. Also, well, actually, no, apple pie isn't American, actually. Apple pie is British. Apple pie originated in Britain, not America. But yeah, a lot of American desserts are similar to British desserts or similar to ones that we eat. Also, the foreign foods that we consume are similar. We both have Chinese and pizza and Indian food places. So what I'm saying is the American palate isn't wholly different from the British palate. So I'm wondering if I did try that, it's very possible I would like it, or at least be able to eat it without it returning.
And that's why cheese can be bought in a can in the USA. Now, spray cheese is actually only 51% cheese. 51% By law, to call a product
cheese.
what it is, it must be at least half that product. So that's why it's only 51% cheese, not a percentage higher. The other 49% is flavor.
Again, sorry for pausing again. Yeah, in America, the 51% law, a food product has to be at least 51% real, genuine, that product to be called that product and be sold as that product. But I prefer American sweet stuff when it comes to like candy and soft drinks, because our soft drinks now, the sugar content has been just cut in half. So I prefer American Fanta. I prefer American Dr. Pepper. I haven't tried American Sprite yet, but I've heard that it's pretty much how Sprite was here in the early 2000s. It was full sugar content and proper. Yeah, Coca-Cola is still normal here. Still 35 grams in a 330ml can. You have a 380ml can. That's the smallest one you sell in America. But yeah, so I do prefer certain American products because they taste like how they did when I was a kid. The candy. Like so much of the American candy I've had, it reminds me of the stuff I had when I was a kid. The chocolate bars, they remind me of when I was a kid. American M&Ms taste like how our M&Ms used to taste like. Yeah, just so much.
Brings protein and ingredients.
What the point I was trying to make is I know a lot of people complain about that and say, "Oh, America's so unhealthy," but I do like it as like a treat. You know, it's like a naughty little treat because it's nostalgic. It's like, oh, this tastes like what it did when I was a kid. Yeah.
Spray cheese has been big in the USA since the 1960s. And it's even sold in various flavors. For example, cheddar, bacon, and even American flavor.
Ooh.
Huh, I wonder what that is.
Yeah, American flavour. I'd like to try the bacon one. Do you know I'd spray that on cheese? I'd spray that. No, what? I'd spread that on toast. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, I'd spray that on cheese. It is spray cheese. Yeah, I'd spread that on toast. That's what I'd do with spray cheese. I'd have it on toast. I know it. Because we do get like kind of squirty, cheesy type products. We have a stuff called, what's it called? Primula. That's it. We have something called Primula. And it's basically like I'm guessing the same consistency of that stuff. It's like a cheese-based product. And they have different flavours. They have cheese and chive. They have cheese and ham. The cheese and ham one's delicious on toast. Cheese and chive one's not bad either. Yeah. As well as, it's like Philadelphia, but not as thick. Yeah. So I think I'd like that actually. If I had it on toast, you can't beat Primula on toast. It's delicious. Can you get Primula in America? Can you get any Dairy Lee products in America as well, like Dairy Lee triangles? I'm guessing not. But can you get Primula in America? Or Philadelphia? Or Lurpak? That's not a cheese, that's a type of butter. But do you get Lurpak in America? Comment below.
Next up is garbage disposal.
Garbage disposal. Yeah, we don't have those here.
I'm sure you've seen in movies and TV shows how Americans throw their food scraps into the sink.
Yeah, I've seen so many American movies and TV shows where they're clearing up after dinner and they just throw it into a hole on like their kitchen island in the middle of the kitchen next to the sink, and then the next thing you know, someone presses a button or something, you just hear crunching noise. I always wondered what that was, and I found out what it was, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't have that here. No.
What happens to them? Do they just sit there? Well, no, they go into what's called a garbage disposal.
Yeah.
These things actually only exist in the USA. In other countries, food scraps would be put in the kitchen bin. But why is it that only in America do they use garbage disposal?
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be an aesthetic kind of thing. Instead of a bin, because of the smell. Because yeah, when your kitchen bin is, especially if you've been eating and preparing a lot of fresh food that contained a lot of meat and vegetables and all the peel and the waste meats in the bin, it does start to smell after a bit. So I'm going to guess that's why Americans prefer a garbage disposal than just putting everything in the bin.
Well, the reason why is because in many other countries it's banned. This is because it's not very environmentally friendly. That's because all of the food is mixed in with the general water waste. This then at some point must be filtered out.
That's where it goes. The waste from the garbage disposal is mixed into the water waste, so it goes to the sewage works. Oh yeah, you couldn't do that here then. Because in the UK, a lot more and more of our sewage is now treated and recycled back into drinking water, which, by the way, I think is absolutely, pardon my French, fucking disgusting. I don't care how much bleach and chlorine it's had filtered through it. I don't care if it's been through 1 million filter meshes. I don't want to drink my next door neighbour's piss. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that makes sense why we don't have them here, because, yeah, food and, yeah. Also, in London, that's why the fertility rates in London are amongst the lowest, not just in the UK, but in Europe. Because of the active ingredient in the contraceptive pill, which makes it do what it does. When women go to the toilet, they secrete that drug and it goes into the sewage system and then it's recycled, and the chemicals and the filtration system in the sewage system that recycles it into water doesn't filter out the drug. So then men and women are then drinking water that's got contraceptive active ingredient drug in it and becoming infertile. That That's been proved. That has been proved by a medical study. It's true. Look it up.
Wastes a lot of energy, but it is convenient. Next up is college sports. Every country loves sports.
Well, yeah.
Whether it's cricket in India, football in Spain, or baseball in the USA. But only in the USA are they obsessed with college sports. Every country loves
I've reacted to a video, top 10 college football entrances, and it was wild. Literally, college kids playing American football in a stadium of like 110,000 people. It was just one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Yeah, we don't have that here. The biggest, the only people in the crowd, kids are playing football in front of until they make it to, at the very least, the semi-professional senior level, are their families and friends. There's no crowds at youth games. Unless it's like the FA Youth Cup final, which might get played in a 10,000 seater stadium, and they might get... Man United, you know, when they used to dominate the FA Youth Cup final, they'd hold it at Old Trafford and they'd get a decent crowd of maybe 20,000 people. But yeah, we don't have this. This is at every game, isn't it?
professional sport leagues, and the USA is no exception. But one thing that's different about the USA is that they love college sports as much as regular professional sports.
Yeah.
No other country gets behind colleges as much as the USA does. If you ask people in other countries if they can name a college team of any other sport, chances are they can't.
No.
In other countries, college sports are not broadcast on TV. And they also don't make any money at all, as opposed to the millions made in US college sports.
Wow.
In the USA, college football brings in thousands of spectators.
So the money that college football or college sports makes from being broadcast on television in America, is that money put back into the colleges? To fund the teams and the college in general? You know, does that money get reinvested or what? Where does it go? But yeah, I remember it was years ago. I was only a little kid. Well, not little. I was probably about 12, 13. I was just flicking through the sports channels on Sky. You know, that's kind of like our cable TV provider in the UK. And there was a Little League game playing on ESPN. It was like under 12s baseball. On a sports channel on cable television in the UK that you have to pay to get access to. ESPN wasn't free back then. I don't think it is now. But yeah, it was Little League game, baseball, on ESPN in the UK. And they were literally like 11, 10 years old, or 12, 11 or 10. No older than 12. I was like, this is mental. This is kids my age on telly playing baseball. So yeah, that was unbelievable to me.
To fill up stadiums. But in other countries, college football games are lucky if they even get the friends and family of the people involved watching.
What did I just say? What did I just say? In the UK, you're playing football for your college team. You're lucky if your friends and family turn up to watch you. Yeah, but in America, you've got 80,000 people cheering you on. It's mental. Well, maybe not for the soccer, but definitely for the American football.
Stadiums in the USA are pretty much all college football stadiums. Out of the top 15 biggest stadiums in the USA, all 15 are college football stadiums.
Where?
The biggest stadiums in the USA get the friends and family of the people involved watching. Also, the biggest stadiums in the USA are pretty much all college football stadiums.
Also, all the biggest stadiums in the USA... Wait.
Out of the top 15 biggest stadiums in the USA,
Out of the top 15 biggest stadiums in the USA, all 15 are college football stadiums. That is crazy to me. Because the NFL is the most watched sporting event in America. The Super Bowl is the most watched sporting event in America. Because every year it happens, they always compare it to like the last World Cup final. And the World Cup final always absolutely trounces it. I think the last one got like 200 million viewers in the US, the Super Bowl, and the World Cup final got like 2.6 billion, you know? But yeah, even that, it's bigger than even that. It's crazy to me.
15 are college football stadiums, the largest of which being the Michigan Stadium, which can hold over 100,000 fans.
100,000.
Next up is white teeth.
White teeth. This is something you Americans take the piss out of us for. Teeth. Yeah.
Have you ever wondered why all Americans seem to have great white teeth?
Oh, but don't worry, the Brits are catching up to you. I'm sure you've heard of the turkey teeth trend. Have you seen it? Every Tom, Dick and Harry turning up looking like fucking Seabiscuit.
It seems for some reason people in the USA are obsessed with getting the perfect teeth. And by perfect, I mean white and straight. Americans actually spend more money than any other country to make sure their teeth are white and straight. But despite all the money that's spent on getting white and straight teeth, that does not necessarily mean they're more healthy. For example, the British are often mocked for their bad teeth. But according to a Harvard University study, British teeth are actually more healthy than American teeth. Trust me, not all Brits look like Austin Powers. One reason why this may be
He wasn't even British. I've never seen any of those films in my life, but I know that's Michael Myers playing Austin Powers. So the fact that you based your stereotypical view of British teeth off, is he Canadian? Either Canadian or American actor playing a stereotypical British character in a movie, and his fake teeth is ridiculous anyway.
is because in the UK, under 18s can get braces for free. However, in America, they're very expensive, and there's a good reason for that.
Yep, and dental care is free as well for kids. Remember, as a kid, going to the dentist for a checkup every 6 months, it was always free. You pay a fortune for everything medical related, but especially for dental care. But yeah, as an adult, if you in the UK, if you can't wait, you know, if it's something that you want done quickly, or it's so painful that you need it done quickly, or you can't deal with it, then you've got to pay, and it's very expensive.
According to a study by New York Mag in the USA, good teeth can be the difference between getting a second date and not. Apparently, 38% of Americans will turn someone down for a second date if they have bad teeth. And 60% of Americans say they perceive someone as smarter if they have straight white teeth.
60% of Americans perceive someone as being smarter if they have straight black teeth. Straight white teeth, straight black, straight white teeth. That's ridiculous. I mean, oh no, I can't use that as an example. I was going to say one of the most intelligent people who ever lived had a medical condition. Yeah, I'm sure you can guess who I was going to say. Only other clue I'll give is that he couldn't walk. Yeah. Einstein, weren't his teeth a bit funny, a bit gangly? But yeah, that's...
Next up is Black Friday.
Right, this is wrong. We have Black Friday in the UK and we've had it for years. We've had it before this video was made. So I remember one year, everybody went batshit crazy over it. There was people literally fighting each other to get inside stores. The year after, no one turned up. No one turned up. The staff in these stores who had worked in the same stores the year before, during the chaos, were given survival packs for the next Black Friday so that they could keep themselves safe and survive the shift. And no one turned up. It was all over the news. It was all over comedy shows, the news, you name it. Everybody was talking about how they'd gone all out to prepare for the second year onslaught on Black Friday, and nobody turned up. In fact, I don't know which news company it was, if it was BBC, Sky, whatever, I don't care. They're all lying pricks anyway. But a news company was reporting outside one store, and there was literally one guy waiting outside the store waiting for it to open, and the news interviewer says to him, you're the only one here, aren't you? And he was like, yep. Yeah, but we do have Black Friday here. Like, so Christmas... Oh, by the way, saw my first Christmas advert yesterday. It was an advertisement for the Advent collection for a makeup product. It was an Advent calendar of different makeups to use on every day of Christmas. It's fucking September. But yeah, when Black Friday approaches this year, all our adverts will be... Every advert on our television channels that's a company selling a product, they will be advertising a Black Friday sale. You can guarantee. So, in the UK, the biggest company that sell like computers, televisions, personal electronics like vacuum cleaners, televisions, PCs, tablets and stuff like that is a PC World or Curry's PC World. They always announce a massive Black Friday advertising campaign every year. Who else? John Lewis, they'll have one. You know, car dealerships will announce a Black Friday sale. Everybody does it. So it is a big thing here. But there's no point buying into it, because if you actually check the discounts that they put on for Black Friday and then keep an eye on the price of those same products throughout the rest of the year, they're actually cheaper at other times of the year than they are on Black Friday. A lot more people are starting to notice it and not bother with Black Friday, which I'm glad about.
If you're not from the USA, you may not understand why everyone goes so crazy on this day every single year. Black Friday is the name given to the day after Thanksgiving, which is another American holiday. The term Black Friday came about...
But I remember in America, Black Friday once, there was this black guy who became like an internet celebrity, and when he got into the store, he was going like, "Yeah, number one, yeah, woo!" He was, yeah. I think he turned up for like a TV or something. He had like a piece of paper with, it's probably a printout of the deal from the website. But yeah, he was, I think he'd queued up outside the store for a week in anticipation of the deal. And I remember him being featured on a British comedy show. And yeah, he was crazy. He was so happy to get inside the store and buy his TV.
Because of the amount of accidents and sometimes even violence shoppers create.
I've seen the
People
violence.
go crazy for all the deals in the
I've seen
stores,
people
and
punching
sometimes
each
there are
other.
riots just to get into a shop. Black Friday has expanded to other countries, for example the UK. But videos of Black Friday in other countries have gone viral for different reasons. That's because no one really cares about Black Friday in other countries. And shops often only get 1 or 2 extra visitors than on a normal day. Billions of dollars are spent in the USA every time Black Friday rolls around. But it seems the rest of the world just isn't into it.
Morons.
Next up is solo cups. If you're American, this may come as a surprise, but red solo cups are seen as a very...
Cups and ice? You're giving me cups and ice? Alright. Yeah, I will be in charge of cups and ice.
very American thing. In movies and TV shows, everyone drinks out of them at parties.
Yep.
And
every American TV show and movie that features a party, they're all drinking out of those red cups. Yep.
Many tourists actually bring back a red solo cup to their own countries when going to America. That's because it's seen as a piece of American iconography, although many Americans don't realize this. In other countries, people simply drink from beer bottles or glasses, but in the USA, they use red plastic solo cups. Next up is free refills.
We have that here.
When I was dining in the USA once, a waiter came up to me and said, "Would you like me to refill your drink?" I said no because the drink was kind of expensive, and they looked at me like I was crazy. That's because it is typical.
The first place I remember experiencing free refills in the UK was Subway. If you paid for a sandwich meal deal and you got a drink in a cardboard cup rather than an actual a bottle of Coke or Pepsi or Fanta or whatever out of the fridge, you could have as many free refills as you wanted out of their machine. And you did it yourself. The machine was just there. The cups were there. The straws were there. Even the plastic tops that you put on the thing were there. It was like you were, working in the shop, making someone drink. And you just kept going back, refilling it, whatever you wanted. It was Coke, 7-Up. It was, it was Subway, so it was probably Pepsi, 7-Up, Tango, or Fanta, Vimto, and maybe Oasis, which is a drink you won't have in America, I don't think. Yeah, so and that was when I was definitely a kid, because it was a thing me and my grandma used to do when we went in town to do the shopping. We'd go to Subway first for our lunch. And I was like 12, long time ago. So we've had free refills at Subway at the very least for at least the last 16 years. Jesus Christ, that just reminded me of how old I am.
In any American restaurant to have a free refill. In other countries, you'd need to pay if you wanted extra drink, but not in the USA. In other countries, if you pay for one drink, that's what you get. And many Europeans say that they find it very weird when they go to the USA and their glass gets refilled even if they don't ask. But personally, I love it. I'm never going to turn down a free drink.
Same in Toby Carvery as well. Pretty sure. You can buy a bottomless Pepsi glass. And they give you your glass, and then you just keep going back to the machine and get as much Pepsi as you want. Again, Pepsi. That's another drink that's had the sugar content cut. I used to love Pepsi because it was sweeter than Coke. Now I can't drink it. Ruined.
Drink. And finally on the list, we have flags.
What, we don't have
Every
flags
country
here?
has their flag, but no one shows off their flag more than the USA. If you drive around the USA, it's common.
Up until recently, maybe, but recently the British started showing off their flags a lot more. Oh yes.
To see people flying the American flag on their homes. Also, many buildings, schools, and businesses will have an American flag. This is something you don't see in any other country. According to research, over 150 million American flags are sold every year. And it's not exactly known why people in the USA love to show their flag off so much. Worldwide,
It's called patriotism, and there's nothing wrong with that.
the USA flag is the second most famous flag after the Union Jack. But no other country waves their flag as much as they do in the USA. Vote in the poll in the top right corner the most interesting.
Right, I'm guessing that's the end. It's just going to be him saying, "Oh, subscribe to my channel." Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I've watched a few videos from this channel. Still not sure whether it's an AI voice or not. But anyway, so yeah, so a few things there that are definitely here. So there was. So let's start with Black Friday. Literally every company that sells you a physical product will be announcing a Black Friday sale on television this Christmas. Well, every company that's big enough to advertise on television. You won't get the local bloody takeaway announcing a Black Friday sale on telly, but you know what I mean, yeah. The free refills, we definitely have that here, and we've had it for a long time. White teeth, it's a trend that's picked up here in the UK, and it's been going for a couple of years now. So British people literally fly to Turkey and get it done, and they come back with these bright white teeth. That's why we call them turkey teeth. Garbage disposals, yeah, I agree with that one. I've never known a person who has a garbage disposal, but I'm pretty sure if you wanted, you could get one installed in your house. If you had enough money to pay for it and set it up, and I don't suppose there's any way they can stop you from having one. But no, we just have bins. Spray cheese. See, I'm not sure. Try Asda. What have you got to forward? It's a fucking search. Yeah, so cheese spreads, you get spray cooking oil that you literally spray, and it's like cheese. Fuck off. Yeah, that's it. Look, Primula cheese and ham. So that stuff on toast is lovely. Yeah, no. Yeah, there's no spray cheese there. It's all. So these are Dairy triangles. It's literally just a triangle of soft cheese, and you just spread it on your toast or whatever you're putting it on. I used to put them in cheese and broccoli pasta to make it cheesier. But no, I suppose no. Spray cheese. AmericanSweets.co.uk. Easy cheese. Yeah, you see what I mean? Yeah, that's the one in the video. $5.99 out of stock. Right, but it'll be back in stock soon. Yeah. So stuff like this we can get here. We can get American stuff here. So this is like candy. We can like Nerds. Yeah. Reese's. York peppermint patty. Payday bar. Whoppers. That's them. Now and later. Those are the little chewy things I was talking about. Yeah, those ones. I like those. Hershey's Zero Bar. Charleston Chew. Pez. We've had Pez in the UK for decades anyway. Twizzlers. Blackjack chewing gum. Sour Patch Kids. We've had them here for a while. Mike and Ike's. Yeah, I like those. Hershey was kind of the first of it. I remember seeing Hershey bars in like normal British stores for a long time before the American sweet shops took off. You got that one and the cookies and cream one. I like the cookies and cream one, but now there's many more varieties. Yeah. So yeah, you can get this stuff in the UK if you want to. But yeah, the flag thing. A few people buy flagpoles and put a British flag or an English flag or a Scottish flag or a Welsh flag up in their garden. You know, there are people that do that here. The red cups, yeah. We don't use those here. If you go into a party in the UK where there's alcohol, if the party's been held, you know, if you rent a pub as the venue for your party, you'll just drink it in whatever it's served to you in. So if it's a pub, it'll be a glass. If it's beer, it's a glass. It's in a glass. Or if you want a specific beer that's in the fridge, it'll be in the bottle or an alcopop. Yeah. So yeah, we don't bother with the cups. Black Friday, I covered that. College sports, yeah. I mean, we will have colleges in the UK that have sports teams, but they don't play in front of 100,000 people every week. They play in front of about 10 people, and that includes their coach. Yeah. But spray cheese, I've just debunked. You can get spray cheese in the UK now. So, but as I said in the beginning, this video is 5 years old, so it was going to be interesting to see how many of these are going to be inaccurate now, which pretty much all of them are, apart from the red cups and the college sports. Medical lawyer ads. No. We have injury lawyers. Injury lawyers. You know, law firms advertise on TV if you've been injured in an accident that was caused by someone else or caused by your employer. We have companies that will work to get you compensation for that, advertising all over the place on TV. And, you know, we have Injury Lawyers for You. That's one company that I can think of off the top of my head. So, yeah, so that one's not necessarily accurate either. But yeah, as I said, it was an old video, so it wasn't going to be bang on. But it was still fun, and it is kind of a reaction staple, this, you know. Most British and Australian Anglosphere reactors, not in America, will react to this video at some point, so I thought it was my turn to do this today. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like the video and subscribe, and suggest more content down below. If you'd like to request an actual video, then you can make a paid request. For more information on that, just leave a comment and I'll send you the full In fact, haven't I updated my about section recently to include exact details on paid requests? Pretty sure I have. Bear with me. Oh no, I haven't. Oh, I was going to add it, but then I thought, no, I won't. I can't remember why, though. Oh, well. Yeah, if you want to make a paid request for a specific video, just leave a comment and I'll give you the details of what you have to do to go about that. But that was 11 common things that don't exist outside the USA, where about 9 of them now definitely exist in at least one place outside the USA. 5-year-old video, though. You know, things change quickly in the UK. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I might try this one next. American foods that are banned in other countries. I've always wanted to watch that. Sounds interesting. There's Mountain Dew in the thumbnail. That's been available in the UK for at least the last 10 years. At least. I love Mountain Dew. Yeah. Mind you, I think the Mountain Dew we get here in the UK is a version that's made to our food safety standards. Well, I'd have to check with an American person check with them on that. But anyway, that's that. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video, subscribe for more. Check out the Patreon and the Twitch channel for more content, and for unedited versions of all my television show and movie reactions are all on the Patreon, unedited and available. And as I said, membership starts from $1 a month. And I'll be back with more content soon. So, yep, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.